Dzień dobry, serdecznie witamy z JVC biura w Niemczech. Znajdujemy się koło Frankfurtu, dokładnie w Bad Vilbel. Nazywam się Aleksander Wodok i jestem przedstawicielem firmy JVC Professional na Europę Wschodnią. Dzisiaj ze mną tutaj jest mój kolega Semi Nuri, który jest produkt managerem firmy JVC Professional w Europie. Dzisiaj chcielibyśmy Państwu opowiedzieć trochę o JVC nowej kamerze HC500 i 550. W tym roku, szczególnie w tym trudnym czasie koronawirusa, streaming i transmisje wideo przez internet stały się bardzo ważnym faktorem. JVC jest jedną z pierwszych firm, która zaczęła integrować technologię IP i streamingu w swoje kamery, tradycyjne kamery. Mamy tu długoletnie doświadczenie. Mamy w tej chwili trzeciej generacji kamery z tą funkcjonalnością. Nasza oferta zawiera różny typ kamer, od małych, podręcznych kamer do dużych, profesjonalnych 2/3 cala kamer z tą funkcjonalnością. Na dzisiejszej prezentacji opowiemy w skrócie o najważniejszych funkcjach naszego nowego produktu HC500. Kamera ta weszła latem tego roku na rynek i muszę powiedzieć, cieszy się dużym powodzeniem. JVC kamery GY-HC500, HC550 serii Connected Cam to ręczne, profesjonalne 4K kamery dla uniwersalnych produkcji. Kamery te oferują wysoką jakość i funkcjonalność. HC500 modele charakteryzują się wysokimi parametrami, posiadają pełną IP funkcjonalność, dają możliwość transmisji IP strumienia na żywo w Full HD z minimalnym opóźnieniem. Są to w tej chwili, można powiedzieć, najbardziej zaawansowane, wszechstronne kamery na rynku, szczególnie w swoim przedziale cenowym. Kamera HC500 posiada jednocalowy przetwornik obrazu CMOS 4K najnowszej generacji. Ten duży sensor zapewnia doskonałą jakość obrazu, dużą dynamikę i wysoką czułość. Mówimy tu o F11 przy 2000 luksów. Kamera jest wyposażona w nowy, szerokokątny, 20-krotny obiektyw z zoomem optycznym i mechanicznym stabilizatorem. Kiedy pracujemy w trybie HD, zoom dynamiczny łączy z sobą zoom optyczny i mapowanie pikselami w przetworniku obrazu 4K. W ten sposób osiągamy płynny i bezstratny 40-krotny zoom. Kamery nagrywają w różnych formatach i kodekach, na nośnikach STHC i STX, w 4K, HD albo w proxy. Modele te mają również możliwość nagrywania sygnału 4K w HDR-ze lub genlogu na nośniku SSD i tutaj w formacie Apple ProRes 422 do 10 bitów i 50 klatek na sekundę. Aby pracować na SSD, wystarczy dysk podłączyć do rozszerzonego gniazda w kamerze za pomocą opcjonalnego adaptera KAMC101, jak tutaj na prezentacji pokazane. Jesteśmy wtedy w stanie nagrywać wideo wysokiej rozdzielczości i w długim czasie. Rozwiązanie to daje nam poza tym szybki transfer nagranych materiałów, co zapewnia nam bezstresową, szybką obróbkę nagrań. Czyli możemy zrzucić materiał z SSD bardzo szybko na komputer, albo nawet pracować bezpośrednio na SSD nośniku. Kamery mogą również nagrywać z dużą prędkością, do 120 klatek na sekundę dla odtwarzania w zwolnionym tempie. Mówimy tu o slow motion 1080p. Poza tym kamery posiadają niezwykle praktyczne funkcje automatycznego ustawiania ostrości. W zależności od sytuacji dostępne są różne konfiguracje. możemy ustawiać fokus na bazie szybkości, czułości, area przedziału, przestrzeni czy odległości. Integrowany jest również detektor twarzy. Tutaj również w zależności od trybu pracy dostępne są różne ustawienia. Unikalną funkcją jest funkcja OIS Hard Lock. Tutaj optyczny stabilizator obrazu działa naturalnie nawet w przypadku ekstremalnych warunków, jak na przykład dużego przyspieszenia grawitacji. Poza tym kamera posiada filtr podczerwieni dla pracy w ekstremalnie niskim natężeniu światła. Jest to idealna aplikacja do zdjęć nocnych, na przykład dla filmów dokumentalnych. Jednak największą zaletą JVC Connected Cam kamer generalnie jest ich unikalna IP funkcjonalność. Kamery JVC mają zintegrowane sterowanie na żywo w HD do 24 megabit na sekundę z minimalnym opóźnieniem. Mamy pełną kontrolę kamer przez IP z podglądem. Mamy automatyczny upload nagrań na FTP serwer. Mamy również jedną z unikalnych funkcji Return over IP, tak zwany zwrotny sygnał wideo i audio po połączeniu IP, który daje na przykład podawania audiosygnału do operatora z wozu czy z kontrolnego miejsca po internecie. Najnowszym update'em otrzymały kamery dodatkowe udoskonalenia i dalsze bardzo przydatne funkcje. Nowy upgrade zawiera aktualne technologie streamingu oraz innowacje szczególnie przydatne dla pracy z socjalnymi platformami. Nowy update pojawił się na rynku w listopadzie i jest bezpłatnie dostępny na naszej stronie internetowej. Jednym z udoskonaleń jest SRT protokół. Protokół ten zapewnia nam wysoką jakość i stabilność IP transmisji. Daje możliwość przekazu wideo przez internet w broadcastowej jakości. Połączenia takie jest odporne na przeciążenia sieci i zakłócenia takie jak jitter czy strata pakietów. Szczególnie efektywny jest ten protokół w kombinacji z H265 kodekiem. JVC oferuje do kamery tutaj opcjonalnie specjalny adapter z H265 streamingiem encoderem, który można bezpośrednio podłączyć do kamery. Inną bardzo praktyczną funkcją jest funkcja Easy Setup. Jest to prosta konfiguracja streamingu na żywo dla Facebooka i YouTube'a. Za chwilę mój kolega z seminury pokaże Państwu dokładnie, jak prosto i wygodnie ta funkcja jest w użyciu. Dodatkowo dla transmisji na socjalne platformy można wybrać wertykalny lub kwadratowy format wideo streamingu. Jest to format, który jest znany z mobilnych telefonów na przykład. Bardzo przydatną funkcją jest funkcja Auto Color Matrix Adjustment. Jest to automatyczna regulacja matrycy kolorów pod lampy LED. Znane są ogólne problemy z odtwarzaniem kolorystyki w świetle LED. Szczególnie problemy z różnorodnym światłem LED na estradach, koncertach czy podobnych eventach. Funkcja ta daje nam możliwość otrzymania naturalnego obrazu wideo w tak problematycznych warunkach, jak tutaj widzimy na tym przykładzie. Dodatkowo do sieciowego protokołu timecode'u NTP, który umożliwia nam synchronizację kamer przez IP, kamery zostały wyposażone w tzw. VITC kod, Vertical Interval Time Codec. Jest to kodek, ten kodek jest rozwiązaniem dla produkcji na żywo z wieloma kamerami. Rozwiązanie to nadaje się do kompaktowych sieciowych produkcji na żywo, na przykład też koncertów, imprez sportowych czy konferencji. Również z nowym update'em rozszerzony został funkcje zoomu, czyli przybliżania i oddalania. Zostały dopracowane funkcje Easy Remote Zoom i Easy Zoom. Funkcje te dają nam większą kontrolę płynności i czułości w pracy z zoomem. Na zakończenie mojej krótkiej prezentacji tutaj chciałbym jeszcze wyszczególnić różnicę między modelami kamer GY-HC500 i HC550. Jeśli chodzi o część kamerową, obie kamery są praktycznie identyczne. Różnica jest tylko w funkcjonalności. Na przykład kamera HC500 posiada dodatkowy kodek zapisu MPEG-2. Poza tym ma zintegrowany GPS i wireless LAN Wi-Fi. Kamera HC500 też potrafi przekazywać sygnał po systemie po WLANie, ale tutaj w tej konfiguracji potrzebujemy dodatkowy USB dongle. Poza tym kamera 550 ma zintegrowany 6E protokół, który jest bardzo efektywnym protokołem, jeśli pracujemy z LTE przekazem. I kamera HC550 posiada tak zwany broadcast overlay, który za chwilę też pokażemy, jak wygląda ta funkcja w realnej kamerze. Tym chciałbym zakończyć moją krótką część tu w języku polskim i przekazać głos mojemu koledze Seminuri, który w tej chwili Państwu pokaże najnowsze funkcje kamery bezpośrednio w naszej kamerze. Przy okazji obraz, który Państwo w tej chwili widzą, jest nadawany bezpośrednio przez internet z naszej kamery tutaj z Niemczech do Polski. Semi, your part.
Okay. So, hello everybody. I'm Semi Nouri. I'm the product manager for professional video products here at JVC Kenwood. I'm based in Germany, but I'm responsible for all the European, Middle East, and African region. And today I would like to show you some new things that we have incorporated into our new baby. This is the GY-HC550, as you can tell by the Wi-Fi antennas that are integrated into this camera. There's also, of course, the 500, which doesn't have Wi-Fi, but both cameras have RJ45 and have a USB host that will allow you to connect any LTE, Wi-Fi, or network dongle to the camera. And both cameras have the network functionality that I will show you. My presentation consists of some parts of a PowerPoint. You already saw from my colleague Alex Wodok a pretty good introduction. I would like to concentrate on certain aspects of the camera, and I will now go online with my presentation, and I will be interrupting this every once in a while so I can show you the individual parts through the menus. So you should be seeing my presentation now at the moment. The cameras basically are a part of a larger family. As you can see, there is also a larger sister of the 500, that's the HC900, which is a 2/3 inch 3 CMOS camera. And we have many other products, PTZ cameras, we have small shoulder cameras, we have monitors, production systems, decoders, and many other things, also small handhelds. But we will concentrate on this yellow area here, the 500 camera, that is now our newest product. We have released this camera quite some time ago, maybe a year and a half, but now we have a V2 software update, and the software update gives you a new functionality. One of the new functionalities is SRT streaming. Another one is YouTube login, which allows you to directly log into YouTube easily without any configuration hassles. The camera also has many other nice functions like automatic FTP, return video and return audio, or what is called IFB, interruptible feedback, which means that you can basically talk to the camera operator from your studio. And you can send him video from your studio so you can see what the framing looks like that you're doing in the studio with your switcher. The camera has very high quality recording capability. I will also explain that at the end of the presentation, because you can use Apple ProRes recording. But let's look at the latest additions in functionality, mainly SRT. Secure, reliable transport. This is a new technology, a new protocol that is gaining interest in many areas, in the news, sports, event area, everywhere where you need to transmit information over the network with a high reliability, so you don't get any blocking, interruptions, and a bad image quality or sound quality. SRT uses automatic repeat request, which means that any packets that are lost will be resent by the camera. So the camera is in constant communication with the receiving end and basically replaces packets that are lost. So if you use simple UDP protocol, if you have a packet loss, you will get an effect what you see here, that the picture just breaks up and you get blocks and also bad audio. With SRT, even at 5% packet loss, which is a lot, you can still get a clear and clean picture. And this is basically due to two factors. One is the ARQ, the automatic repeat request, and this can recover up to 30% of lost packets. And the other one is forward error correction. Forward error correction is another technology we employ with the SRT protocol. And it means basically when you send your data, you get extra data sent with the camera data. And this data can later be used to reconstruct information that was lost on the way from the camera to your studio. So the combination of ARQ and FEC together gives you a high level of security and a high level of stability when you transmit data from the camera to the studio. Is there another option to SRT? Yes, there is, and it's also built into the camera. It's called ZigSee. ZigSee is a protocol that uses the same technologies essentially, and basically offers you also a very high level of safety and security when you transmit data. The SRT protocol that we've implemented is version 1.4, and we will keep updating it, which supports the FEC. Forward error correction, you can see here there is a menu in the camera, and I will go through the menu in a minute and show you this in real life in the camera. So you can activate FEC and you get a matrix here. The bigger the matrix, the more latency and the more data overhead you get, but the more safety and security also you get. So it's basically a trade-off. Higher, bigger matrix means more error correction capability, but a little bit more data overhead. Also, what we've implemented with the SRT is SRT stream ID. So each stream has an identifier. The identifier basically shows you the camera as a unique entity in your stream. And normally, if you, let's say you're doing a video report of a sports game and you have 3 cameras in the field. So each camera will send one stream, so you can see camera 1 is this one, then camera 2 is this one, and camera 3 is this one. So you need 3 ports, basically normally, as you can see here, you need 5000, 501, and 502, and you need 3 individual decoders. If you have a single decoder that can handle 3 signals, then you can use the ID and only a single port, which is sometimes easier in your network configuration. So here we offer you 2 possibilities. One possibility is to use 3 different ports with 3 individual decoders, or to use 1 single port with camera IDs and a single decoder. So this is also something new that we can use. And decoder doesn't necessarily mean a hardware only. It can also mean a software decoder. So you can use basically services like Nimble, Stream, or Wowza, or a KiloView decoder, or simple basically online decoders that will relay your signal. Another thing that we've implemented in the camera is basically to make it more social network friendly. A lot of the social network communication is done with vertical communication. So basically you have a cell phone and most people hold it upright, not in portrait format. So the cameras now can support the upright format. So you get vertical video, and you can still record on your SD card a normal 16:9 HD video. We actually made the camera in a way that you can select the cutout area. So here you can see the cutout area of the camera is in the middle, but we will make it also possible to put the cutout area here on the right side or on the left side. So, and you get the recording on the SD card, you get the whole picture, but the stream will only be the cutout area. For other services, we have different cutout area, which is basically a square area, which is then 720 by 720, for instance. And this is a selectable format. I will show you again in the menu of the camera what this looks like. It's basically intended for social media. Another thing that we incorporated to make things easier is to make direct login. Normally you have to go to Facebook or YouTube and get a stream key and a streaming URL and then put it into the camera by using the web interface, which can be done easily, but we made it even easier by doing a direct login. You get a QR code on the camera or a 9 or 8 digit code that you can put into Facebook, or another different 8-digit code that you can put into YouTube, and then you can log in directly. We've joined the Facebook Live solution partners in April 2020, and one of the first products that can support this Facebook Live login is the GY-HM250. That's the small sister of the HC500 series. But now, as of version 2.0, the HC500 and 550 can also do the Facebook Live login directly. We basically offer the same service now also for YouTube. By the way, this is also coming for the HM250, the smaller sister of the HC500. So for YouTube, again, you can basically log in directly and also perform a scheduled stream. We support RTMPS protocol, which is obviously needed when you communicate with Facebook, and this has been implemented in the 500 series, and in also the 250, and many other cameras will follow. The matrix, I think my colleague already explained. A lot of times you have lighting in a situation where you have events, music, concerts that's coming from LEDs. LEDs have a very distinct narrow wavelength and a distinct color. So a lot of times you will see the picture looks unnatural. You will see these highlights here, which looks very terrible, or here these halos. The matrix detects this kind of situation and changes the matrix in a way to make the picture look more pleasant and more natural. This is an automatic feature. You don't have to turn on anything except just switch the camera to automatic mode. This has already been explained. Basically, the feature set of both cameras. Both cameras are capable of streaming. Also, the 500, the smaller sister of the 550, can stream SRT. It cannot stream ZigC, but if you have SRT, in most cases, you're good. And if you want a Wi-Fi adapter, you can still attach it to the USB. Another thing that you can do with the camera is record on SSD media. So here I will give you some examples. You can see on a 1 terabyte medium, you can record in the highest quality 90 minutes or 135 minutes in standard quality on the SSD. This is Apple ProRes, which is very high quality format. And at the moment, when you purchase a 500 or 550, we offer a free SSD recording device with the camera. But there is more. You can use the same SSD also to record long-up MPEG-2 or MPEG-4. In that case, you get many minutes of recording time. With a 1 terabyte medium, you get basically 2,000 minutes of recording time, which is a very long time. So if you're into animal photography or surveillance applications, you can basically leave the camera running for many hours of recording time. This concludes this part of the presentation. I would now go back to the video image, and we'll show you some of the menus directly on the camera. You should be seeing the video image now, and I will now go to the camera by using my cell phone. So one of the features of this camera is that it basically can be controlled through a web interface. This is a normal cell phone that's in the same Wi-Fi network as the camera, and I can now use this, for instance, to turn on the camera display superimpose functionality. So you can now see the audio levels and all the usual stuff that you see when you turn on the display of the camera. At the moment, we don't want this because we're using Skype, and this is only disturbing, so I will turn it off again, but I can turn on the menu now. And here you can see the different menu points of the camera in front. And I would like to show you now the network settings. So in order to do the SRT, for instance, you have to go to live streaming and you have to configure a streaming server. So I've already configured one of the servers called SRT test, but I will show you how it's done by using server number 2, for instance. And you can basically select one of many protocols. So you can see here so many protocols: MPEG-2, UDP, TCP, RTP, RTSP, RTP, SRT, of course. And you get RTMP, which you use for YouTube, and you get RTMPS, which you use for Facebook. So in this case, let's select the SRT protocol. And in SRT, you have different settings, so you can basically initiate the stream from the camera. In that case, the camera will be calling the studio. That's why it's called a caller. Or you can select the listener mode. In this case, the camera will listen to the studio, and the studio will initiate the stream and tell the camera, please send your stream. Or you can select rendezvous mode, which means the camera and the studio will basically listen to each other and then agree amongst themselves which one is the caller and which one is the listener, and initiate the stream. The most applications will work as a caller application. And in this case, you need to input an IP address, of course, or a destination URL where you want to stream to, and you can select a port that you want to use. This is basically an arbitrary selection. This is the stream ID. This is also something you can edit, and you can put in any name that you want for your camera. It just has to match what you have in the decoder. You can then select some typical things for SRT, for instance, bandwidth overhead. You can add extra bandwidth to make the transmission safer. There are some guidelines on the HiVision homepage which explains how you select these parameters. And you have latency. Of course, you can increase latency. That gives you more safety. But of course, if you're in a live situation, you want to have low latency. So it's a compromise. You have to find the best way to get the latency and the live environment to work together. You can also encrypt your transmission, so nobody can basically listen in on your stream. And you can also use the FEC, forward error correction. As I explained, there's a matrix, and you can basically choose different matrices depending on your application. So this is one thing. I would also like to show you the YouTube direct login at the same time. I've here configured one of the servers as a YouTube live server, and you basically can also select Facebook. And there's nothing to set up here really, basically only select that. And then if you leave the scenario and you choose the YouTube, I will do that now. Then you can go down here and you will see a login window. And it will be now connecting to YouTube, which is, of course, a Google company. And if you go to the URL that you're seeing here, google.com/device, and put in the code that you see there, or you use the QR code that is presented, then you can basically log in the camera directly, and it will stay logged in for 2 months. And then once you're logged in, you just press the online streaming button, and you're ready to go and do a stream. It has never been easier to log into YouTube. And just to show you the options that you have, of course, regular 1280/720. You can also switch the camera. If I switch it to 1080p mode, then you have, of course, also 1080p. And you can have also lower resolutions, but you can also have these vertical resolutions. And in that case, you can see a frame in the picture now, which indicates the setting for the resolution. So this is the streaming section of the camera that I wanted to show you. Now I will go and as a last thing, I will show you the, just a minute. So live streaming, I will show you now a typical SRT stream. We'll go to the SRT test, activate that. I will leave the menu. And now I will push a button on the camera to start the stream. This can also be assigned to a user key that I can basically use on the camera. And I will turn around the camera now. And you can now see an SRT stream here, basically coming from the camera. What you see here is the decoder. This is the BRD E900. This is feeding SDI into the monitor that you see here. And here we have a network cable that's coming from the camera, basically from the network infrastructure. This decoder could also sit far away somewhere in a studio. It doesn't matter. And if you want to use, for instance, existing LTE networks, you can use this technology as well. So if you use an LTE dongle like this one, you can plug it into the camera, and this will use a normal 4G network and transmit your stream. You can also make it more efficient by using this optional adapter. This is a H.265 adapter, which allows you to encode 1080p at 3 or 5 megabits in very, very high quality and relay that over an LTE network. A few months ago, we did a bicycle race in the Czech Republic using 2 of those cameras with the H.265 encoder, and we basically ran a course of 10 kilometers with the camera with LTE networks, and 70% of the transmitted images were coming from our cameras during that broadcast. Okay, let me turn around the camera again to my colleague.
Halo, witam serdecznie. I niestety czas jest ograniczony, dlatego na tym zakończymy dzisiejszą prezentację. Dziękujemy bardzo za uwagę. Zapraszamy na naszą stronę internetową, gdzie znajdą Państwo wszystkie informacje szczegółowe o tej kamerze i zapraszamy do naszych dealerów. I życzymy dużo dobrej pracy z tym nowym produktem. Dziękujemy, do widzenia.
Goodbye, everyone.